We are on a mission to save and revitalize independent pharmacy. On the Catalyst podcast, we dive into current events that are shaping how pharmacists approach their patients and their businesses. Fuel your passion for pharmacy, one conversation at a time.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
Welcome to the Catalyst Pharmacy Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Key, president of PioneerRx, and today I'm here with Mark and Marsha on their 15th anniversary.
Hi, I'm Marsha Bivins, director of marketing for PioneerRx.
Hi, I'm Mark Bivins, vice president of sales.
Today we're here with Bill Holmes, founder and CEO of RxSafe.
Welcome, Bill. We're so pumped to have you here.
So today is Mark and Marsha's 15th anniversary.
Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So not much longer than there's been a PioneerRx. So
I'll keep the
Wow.
jokes to a minimum.
Goes back to the beginning.
Yeah. I remember when I wasn't even working at M&D and Marsha would be gone at this small town somewhere. I don't remember where it was.
Vivian,
Like, she would
Louisiana.
tell me, she's like, I was here entering prescriptions or something all day. I was like, what are y'all doing?
what are you on?
Basically, Pioneer is actually the same age as our son because I was going there when I was pregnant with him. That pharmacy went live right when I found out I was pregnant with him. So
Yeah, but see, you left me for us for a little bit, and you didn't leave you. So hey, that's
he took me away.
That's
there
it.
we go.
that's a good deal. Well, I'm glad you came back.
I'm loving your Westworld robot lady that you have behind
That is
you.
Rexy.
It's Rexy.
Is that who that is?
That's
Oh,
Rexy.
I don't know. Yeah, okay.
She walks
Yeah,
the trade show
over
floor.
my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. She's in a lot of their marketing content. It was something you introduced, NCPA 2019, I believe.
Yes.
Or-
And then in a very big way at February 2019 at PDS, we had
There was about
actually
six of them. Yep.
six Rexies. We had the stormtroopers walking through the hallway handing out samples of our little box thing here. Hey, would you like some candy, little boy?
So these were like actual people dressed?
Yeah, just like robots.
No, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
dang.
actually.
So I
Like-
didn't go to those
completely-
conferences. I was like, that's cool.
Completely painted up and wearing like the helmet that is
Yeah.
her
Right on.
hair.
Yeah, he was spending the money. So, Bill, we kind of introduced you off site, but tell us a little bit. How has COVID been going for you? How's the last year or so?
Yeah, it's we like everybody at probably at the PDS show 2019. We're walking around busy, getting ready in the January-February timeframe, and attended the show in what seemed to be very normal fashion. In fact, it was very normal. You were there, we talked, and Dan Benamos, who's the founder of PDS, walked by the booth, and as he does, chats with everyone. What's new? What are you doing? Where do you see things going? And we talked, and then he said, we're really lucky that we got the show in. And I went, what are you talking about? It's February 28th or something like that. And he said, well, with the virus, and I don't know if there's going to be any more trade shows. And I looked at him like he had three eyes. I hadn't been paying attention to the news. I had no idea what he was talking about. I said, Dan, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, this COVID thing, this could. And I went, no. There's no way. It's not possible. Are you kidding me? Pandemic in this day and age? No. And, 15 days later, the world shut down. And, we looked at it and just tried to figure out what we could do to help. I actually developed a couple of things that I thought would help the market at large. A plastic screen with a pass-through bin that didn't allow any viral transfer, and working on a machine to clean currency to get the virus off of that. So we just sort of dug in like everybody else, feeling patriotic and trying to help. And we did very responsible stuff here at RxSafe. We had people working from home whenever they could. Sure, you did the same thing. But we kept operations up 100%, and short of sales guys travel and trade shows, which obviously didn't happen, it was a pretty normal year. In fact, for us as a business, 2020 matched 2019. 2019 was our best year ever. So we were able to soldier right on and are doing that into this year, just hoping for the vaccinations to put this sort of behind us. I have a feeling that's already happening as we talk to our customers. I'm sure you've done the same thing. The stores are opened up again up front, and people are feeling more confident. The mask rules are kind of not so tedious as they were before. So I'm extremely optimistic about the future. We viewed ourselves as a critical care part of healthcare. I'm sure you did as well, and maintaining your support for your customers. And so I'm glad it's behind us. It was tough. And I really feel a lot of pain for a lot of people that weren't so fortunate to be able to continue their business like we have. But the American spirit is strong, and independent owners are, dedicated to success, and they're going to pick themselves up and keep going and grow. I think there's a resurgence. I mean, if you look at what people have called the V-shaped recovery, I think we're seeing it. Building materials are in short supply. Yeah. Almost everything is. You can't even buy a bicycle because the parts in the supply chain have not caught up with demand yet. I just think it's, we're going to see some, really interesting recovery stuff, and we're going to see a new dimension in how the future unfolds. There'll be new people jumping in to replace people that have had difficulty. All the restaurants that have closed will open up again, perhaps with new ownership. And people will get back to work. And, I think we'll all have learned a big lesson here about what to take seriously and how to be careful. And it will all come down to the same thing I always preach about. The independent pharmacy owner is the pinnacle of the closest healthcare provider to 95% of the people in this country. They're within 3 to 5 miles of 95% of everyone here. And they're very trusted. And I think that both, Jeff, you and I would say, that we care to support this industry. It's vital that we, in fact, have the world's largest chain. The 21,000 independent owners are twice the size of Walgreens, twice the size of CVS. They dwarfed Walgreens and the others. And they have a common interest in succeeding to improve the health care of the people in this country. And we're here to support that.
Bill, I totally agree. And the other thing I always try to, one thing I've harped on and what I've seen examples of is just how good, and it was proven in this pandemic, that community pharmacy, how good they were at reaching the vulnerable. Reaching those people who couldn't get out of a home or had to do, like you saw, whether it's LTC facilities or blind and deaf or whatever, like they were the group that were getting the letters and all of that stuff. So I totally agree with you. Yeah,
I was looking today, and we did about half our pharmacies, 2,200 pharmacies, did about 3 million shots. And you look at some of that against the national numbers and go, yes, but in our numbers are the guy who took a boat over to an island, right, and gave shots on the island,
or drove house to house,
or going house to house, or
going to long-term care facilities,
or getting to people that were harder to get to. So I agree 100%.
And they were probably the most vulnerable from a comorbidities perspective or something like that. Probably the sickest. Patient group as well,
and truly the most rural. Hundreds of examples of people that are in little communities of 5,000 to 8,000 people, and they took their staff and hired help and went over to a gymnasium or a community hall or a VFW hall and were set up in there on long days and weekends to do whatever they could. As much vaccine as they could get. They wouldn't go home until they vaccinated every single person they could. So they're reaching the furthest and the most vulnerable. I totally agree with you.
Well, talking about an American spirit, so one thing people may not know is most of your equipment y'all make, right? So there are some vendors in the robotic space that they'll buy this Japanese machine and they reformat it their own, but you make a lot of your own stuff. We saw that American spirit and the things that you built with COVID. How did you get into this? Tell us a little bit about Bill. How did you get here?
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. We're the only completely vertically integrated company in our space, in the pharmacy automation space in the country, that does vial filling equipment. We have the RxSafe robot, which we've had now for 13 years and about 9 years in the strip package. You can see the strip package over my shoulder here. we're very high on improving patient health with the best strip packaging opportunity at the lowest cost in the world. My background is mechanical engineering. I'm very blessed to have had a very creative mom. She was an artist and a painter, and my dad was a mechanical engineer. So I kind of had both sides of my brain getting stimulated all day long. My dad would sit at the dinner table and ask me, how long does it take light to get from the sun to the earth, and how long would it take you to walk to the moon? And I'm going, Dad, I'm trying to eat my hamburger.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat a sandwich, man.
You need to ask Cohen that. How long does it take light to get from the sun to the
he'll
moon?
just make you.
God.
Yeah,
he'll exhaust you with his answer.
7 minutes. 7 minutes. and I got that because I couldn't finish my Cheerios until I had the answer. At the other side, my mom would sit around.
Did you have to be correct in order to finish, or was he just happy with the answer?
Yeah. And if I got it wrong, I had to go do some research. And at that time,
Cheerios are getting soggy.
Believe it or not, kids, there wasn't anything.
No internet. Yeah.
You didn't have a Google there.
I had to go to the encyclopedia. Yeah, no kidding. And my mom was walking around with a piece of paper saying, "Well, draw something." So I was, I was very lucky to grow up. Both of them were entrepreneurs, and so I have over 150 patents in my career. And it's been a long haul. I started in the early 90s with Pyxis, and we worked on something called the Med Station. Overwhelming success. I would guess there's 500,000 med stations in the world today, all in every single country. And did that for several years, really enjoyed it. Amazing company. Left in 96 to go to a little company in Palo Alto called Omnicell. Today worth somewhere between 3 and 5 billion, depending on the article you read. Randy Lips, great guy. Just loved working with him. We developed called a medication dispensing cabinet to give that dimension to their company. And happened to, I landed in Palo Alto in 1996. What a weird place to be. They had Stanford on one end of the street. Yeah. It was a quaint little town. Xerox PARC was there. But who ever heard of this company called Google? Netscape, Yahoo, all of them right in this one tiny little area.
Wow.
And I'm here going, guys, this doesn't make any sense. $1 billion valuations, no sales, no profit, and I just shook it off. This will pass. This can't be. And so I was there from 96 to 99, almost 2000, and just saw that amazing, entrepreneurial experiment just become so real and so well funded, and I just got a real taste for that. So in 99, 2000, I started my first of 3 successful startup companies, and started RxSafe about we're in our 14th year now. And basically it just, piece of paper and a napkin and a bar, and hey, could we do this? And, a few years later, if I turn the camera, we developed the first machine, which was the RxSafe. And we have about 500 sites with the RxSafe today, including 10 of the top 20 health systems in the country. And you know who they are. So it's just it's the dumb thing that people told me when I was growing up. Do what you love, and the business and the money and the success will follow. And when I tasted, healthcare, not having been in it before Pyxis, who the customers are, who the professionals are, the passion they have to help people, it just hit me so strongly that I wanted to be there instead of some other industry. I've been in several other industries before that, because everybody's got to go to work every day. Everybody's got to, try to support their family and do what they can to grow personally and professionally. But not everybody gets to say at the end of the day, what I did today helped people. And that's what I think we're all about, all of us.
Nice. What other areas have you been in other than healthcare?
Well, I built the largest 8-wheeled inverted U-shaped gantry crane to, this is probably going to make no sense to me.
There are words here. Your lips are moving, but
that sounds awesome.
Like
Keep
you're
going. I want to hear what
Let's-
this
let's-
thing
I wanna
does.
there needs to be an
It's hundreds of thousands of pounds, a machine that picks up these dockside containers that you see on the back of semis going up and down the road.
Okay.
They're on these giant shipping containers that go on these massive ships. So I built a machine that quadrupled the throughput of a port by making a bigger, faster one of those. As a young engineer, it's dangerous to give somebody like me unlimited budgets and a big goal because you don't know what's going to happen.
Is that machine still used today?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually displaced every other vendor in the world. At the time, Germany was the primary production company, a company called Pioneer, and we showed up in their port and literally ran circles around their demo. In fact, I did that. Our machine would go 5 times faster than theirs, so I was looping their machine while we were doing our demo. I thought it was quite dramatic. But the machine's 60 feet tall, 30 feet wide, 80 feet long. It would go 15 miles an hour. It was just really amazing. So I did that. A lot of other construction equipment. And if you see these cherry picker trucks when you go down the road working on power lines and cutting trees, I did that for about 8 years in a company in Wisconsin. And those machines would go as high as 130 feet in the air and allow people to safely touch energized power lines at 500,000 volts. That is a scary thing. Really scary thing. So there was a funny story there. We built this brand new machine that had the highest capacity, the highest reach, and the highest voltage protection. And we took it to a power company. And, here I'm this young engineer. I'm all proud of this machine, and we're going to tell them how it works, and we're going to show them how to use it. And there's these roughneck guys, the line workers, just brutes.
Yeah.
These guys don't open beer bottles. They break the stem off with their teeth. They drink it. And, this old guy comes up and he puts this massive old hand on my shoulder and grabs me as a young engineer. And he says, son, are you confident this thing's going to be safe so nobody gets killed up there? And I said, oh, yes, sir. Yes, trust me. Absolutely. He said, great. Get in the bucket.
Great. Hop up
True
there.
True story.
Love it.
True story.
So did you get in the bucket?
I did.
Yeah.
Well, he had to. Otherwise,
I'm here, and I'm here.
And you're here.
I made the sale.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. Anything to make the sale, including the possibility of death by electrocution.
Right. Shooting 500,000 volts through your veins.
So fast forward, you've moved into healthcare. So what drew you to the healthcare industry? Well,
that was an ice storm, actually, Marsha. It was the winter of 1989, 1990, and I was living in Wisconsin. And December, January timeframe, in that part of the country, there's 2 seasons. There's winter and July. And it's beautiful in July, but the rest of the year kind of sucks, to be honest. And I was living in a little town called Delafield, Wisconsin, and it's one of those weird days where it was about 35 degrees in the air temperature during the day, but the ground had snow and ice all over it. So the ground is probably 20 degrees or 25 degrees. And just that weird combination where it starts to rain as the sun's going down, and all that water goes on all the trees and all the structures, and then it freezes as soon as it hits, and it's beautiful. If you look at the trees, they look like crystalline glass structures. And then, of course, on the house and the street, it makes life extremely difficult. In fact, it froze me into my house. I could not open the doors. There was 2 inches of ice on the outside of the house. I had to break myself out of the house with an axe, not making it up. And the only way to go get groceries or anything for the rest of the week was on a snowmobile. So, I'm sitting there thinking, this kind of sucks. And the phone rings, and I get a call from a headhunter looking for a young engineer to come to San Diego to kind of change and go into a new career direction.
San Diego's
and
nice.
He said, Bill, you don't have to say yes or no. Let me just get you a ticket, fly you out, spend a couple hours with the company, and then spend 3 or 4 days here, and then go back and just let us know what you think. And here I am.
San Diego versus getting shut in. Nice.
How could you not say yes? Like, yes, I'll be there tomorrow.
Makes sense. We still love our Wisconsin people, FYI.
Any challenges being I'm a firm believer that technology companies should be run by technologists. You see successful stories about that, but any challenges being but kind of an artistic mechanical engineer and trying to run a big company? How do you manage that?
Yeah, it's we all wear a lot of hats, and so I kind of compartmentalize sort of my day or my week. We have our time to talk about what we need to do in sales. We have, I think, the world's best marketing group in our company of our type. We do what we call the Pack My Meds Network, where we actually help bring patients to our customers that have invested in our Rapid Pack Strip Packager, for example. And so we put a lot of time and energy. We have a huge budget. We do a lot of ad spends to try to get people to come to the pharmacies. Last year, we sent over 1,200 people to independent pharmacies around the country. I'm sorry, 12,000.
12,000. Wow.
Yeah, my assistant here, Brady, is correcting. He can't hear your questions, but he's hearing me make stupid answers.
He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, 12,000. We took 12,000 people away from CVS and Walmart and Walgreens to independent pharmacy owners to enjoy the advantages of them becoming sort of the pill pack in their community. And we're very proud of that. We actually have on-site assistance to help people grow their programs because, if I'm interested and you're interested in healthcare in the community, just selling a machine doesn't get it done. We have the best machine by far. We have built-in vision inspection and other great attributes that others don't have. But if they don't get patients there, if you build the field of dreams hoping they'll come and they don't come, then you really failed. So we work really hard to try to get assistance and education and tools and actually on-site help and expertise through our programs to make sure that there is this wonderful equipment and they are building and building and building the number of patients who are being served by adherence packaging. And Ben McNabb comes to mind in Eastland, Texas at Level Oak Pharmacy. Ben bought our strip packaging equipment 4 or 5 years ago and today has over 600 patients on it. That represents to him, $1,000 a year more profit per patient, and a month. There you go again. And he's looking at over $500,000 more profit a year while he's helping the patients in his community be healthier. And that's what gets me going. That's why I wear so many hats. I wear the sales hat, I wear the marketing hat, I wear the CEO hat, I wear the inventor hat. The hat I like the most is talking to independent pharmacy owners, and I do it all the time. We have a studio here where I am today with all our demo equipment in it, and we host Zoom calls all the time to help people who can't travel, especially during COVID, get a chance to look and feel and how our equipment operates. And I tell people all the time, they ask me, how'd you come up with this great idea to build all this vision stuff into the strip packager? I says, well, it wasn't my idea. It was your idea. If you do we do 20, till COVID, we did over 20 trade shows a year. Jeff, you and I see each other all the time, Marsha and Mark. If you do 20 a year, 3 days each on average, probably talk to 100 people per show. I've interviewed over 20,000 interviews to ask people, what would work for you and how would you like it to be different than what you have? And that's how we did it. We basically said, let's do a focus group of the entire industry and see if we can come up with the kind of answers they're asking for when others haven't been able to. And that's the part of my job I love the most.
So NCPA, you going big? Going to go super big besides running around and hugging everybody and saying, oh, it's a human?
He's going massive. I think you told me like a 20 by 60 and it was going to be a circle. But in front of the front door, right?
It's actually 60 by 60.
60 by 60. Okay.
And it's circular, and inside of it, we're going to have individual little sections around a circle. So you'll have adherence, MedSync, MTM, Pack My Meds, other descriptions. I don't want to reveal everything because some of it's going to be a secret. We're coming out with another pair of new products that we're going to reveal there. We love NCPA, very close to Doug Hoey and the group. As you know, we're the primary sponsor for the webinar that we did to support SCOTUS and the Arkansas case with Leslie Rutledge. We did a panel. We put in, I think, $25,000 as the seed money to incentivize others. And we did kind of like a Live Aid thing with over 900 people participating live in the webinar. We had Leslie Rutledge. We had Mark who sponsored the legislation in Arkansas, the current folks that are on the Arkansas Pharmacy Association, on a nice panel with Doug. And together, we raised for NCPA's Legal Defense Fund over $130,000 to help them.
Excellent.
That's amazing.
We did it again in the fly-in a month ago, a little under a month ago, to get the software they needed for doing essentially a fly-in, which used to be in person. So pharmacy owners that were very motivated, 200 or 300 of them, fly to Washington, talk to their representative, and try to make sure that they understand the plight of what's going on with the PBMs and the DIR fees. And so we paid for massive new technology that NCPA used to, I guess you call it Zoom on steroids, so you could have all the meeting rooms and information around the border. And we had other co-sponsors there as well to help us put money forward. But they're suing HHS over the subject, and that's going to be years and very expensive litigation. If people are of a like mind in our 21,000 pharmacy chain, they really can use financial support, and they do it very, very well. So I would put a plug in for them as well. But NCPA is going to be a great show. It's in October. Chances that it will be live are very high.
Yeah, good news. Not only will it be live, but I heard today that masks will be optional. So,
get a bunch of healthcare workers.
Since they're in a venue that masks are optional, I can almost assure you it's going to be live.
Yeah, yeah. And I think they'll probably do all the right stuff with temperature monitoring and the like. So we'll be back in the groove. We have a giant presence there. NCPA is a great partner for all of us. And, we just want to help them as much as we can draw more people to that show. I think we're doing that right now with our conversation.
Yep.
But, and it's important to show support for a company, an organization rather, that's doing so much good work for the industry. They're busy every day lobbying to, help
Absolutely.
us, basically.
Well, I think it's going to be a huge show. I think there are going to be a lot of people there. There's going to be a lot of conversations about what people learned from the pandemic and how their life changed, how they stretched to work better with public health. So I think anybody listening, go.
Yeah.
You should definitely be there.
Yep. It's Charleston or Charlotte, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Charlotte, North Carolina. Yep.
And they got a really cool amusement park there too. So if you get a chance to go to the amusement park.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
They've got a ride that's like that. It's a roller coaster, but they put you in and then you lie down.
Well, no. As soon as you sit down and they latch you in, when they go to start the ride, you get laid backwards. And then, because some of the flying that you're doing, you are belly down.
You're on your belly.
But they lay you backwards.
Yeah, it simulates like you're Superman.
Raven. It's called Raven.
Yeah, no, but I felt like Superman.
But you're going to feel like Superman.
Let me have my dream.
They just didn't have the trademark, right? They didn't have the license.
But you're like, you're free because there's nothing between your stomach.
So you can see everything.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
You fly over the people that are in line to get on the ride. You fly belly down over them.
It's like my favorite ride everywhere. So another reason to go.
So if anything,
go to NCPA, right?
So
I think it's called the Raven.
Do the spicy Mexican meal after the ride? Is that the right order?
That's what it sounds like. That is true. Yes.
Yeah, I would definitely. That's true.
Yes. No. Yeah. Save the hot dogs and the chili dogs for after. Yeah.
I don't eat at amusement parks anyways. The food's overpriced and it's just nasty.
That was very bougie.
I know. I know, right?
She was like moving her head and everything. I don't eat at amusement parks.
I know. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm becoming a little more health conscious and
That's right.
My age.
Yep. Yeah, Marsha and Mark, that whole gym. They got a tonal that just came. They got a Peloton bike, a Peloton. They got a COVID gym.
I will remind everyone and her, our honeymoon, since it is our anniversary today, our honeymoon was at an amusement park.
Okay, we were kids. That is true. Yes, our honeymoon was at an amusement park, but we were kids.
Yeah, we were babies.
Yeah. Did y'all eat the?
We ate the food there.
Yes,
we ate the food. That's what I'm trying to say.
It was chili dogs and chili fries and chili chips.
It was a hot dog for sure, but it was funnel cake.
Yes, that's sweet.
Bill, are you? I should have known these questions before, but are you married? Kids? Any of that kind of good jam?
Yeah. Yep, married. My son Brian is 29, and he's up in LA doing production work on podcasts and webinars, and just has a real flavor for what we're doing here today.
What kind of podcast? Is he like a producer, or is he an actor, or what? Not actor. I guess we're actors.
He's on the production side, and I don't know if I'm free to name the podcast, so I'll be a little careful here. But they're all over the spectrum. From tend to be socially focused, environmentally focused, politically focused, and
gotcha.
He's one of those guys that wants to change the world, and they're working on a lot of messaging to try to improve things and cares about the little guy. He just he's out there doing it every day.
Does he assist you with your podcast?
Well, it's funny about that father-son stuff. He helped me set up our demo room here, which is fantastic, and gives us different camera views and sound everywhere, and all the lighting is exactly right. But he's kind of like wanting to do his own thing. He's kind of shied away from getting involved in the business, and isn't going to be a father-son handoff, I don't think, in the future. But I told him the same thing my dad told me: do what you love, and the rest of it will follow. And he's doing that. He's loving every minute of it. So it's great to see somebody kind of spread their wings, and I'm quite confident you'll see his name in credits in the future as he makes his way through that.
Nice.
So just Brian, or?
Just Brian, yeah, one son. Yeah.
So, and what part of and where do you live? What part of the country do you live in?
I'm in San Diego.
Oh, he's still in San Diego, so you never left.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here, and he's up in LA, so we see each other quite often. In fact, we spent the weekend together, so it was fun.
I like San Diego. Are you a wine drinker? Do you ever make it up to Temecula?
Let's see. Is this going to go live?
We got that, dude. Really went out there.
We can cut something.
Let's make it a little more open. So
this is COVID. Everybody drinks wine.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, aside from your passion of building and robotics, what are your side hobbies outside of robotics?
Well, I just love to travel. I'm a free spirit. When we stopped doing the travel and the trade shows, I had, I was just what do I do? I'm locked up in
drink.
I love work. Yeah, drink. So there's the wine connection.
Yeah.
And I prefer a nice, fruity red.
Okay.
But no, I am an avid traveler. I love Scotland, been there several times, love to play golf. The old course is unbelievable. If you're a golfer, someday you got to get there. It's just
Is that St. Andrews? Is that what that is?
St. Andrews, yeah. And, there's 1,000 fabulous golf courses in Scotland. So if you can't get on the old course, you go to the Castle course or some of the others that are around there. They're amazing. And be sure to get the oldest caddy you can find to be your caddy.
Okay.
I had a guy caddy for me that I swear he was 80 years old, and he's toting the bag around, and he told us stories for the whole 4 hours that we played, and a few of them had to do when he was Bill Clinton's caddy while he was president. And of course, I cannot repeat that.
Yeah. I got lots of jokes already coming through my head.
They shook the Secret Service and went to the favorite watering holes, and Bill was Bill. But this guy, with his accent and his enthusiasm, it was just a crack up. It was worth it just to have this guy telling us all these old stories.
That's cool.
You got to get your ear tuned to
their dialect is very
hard.
Dialect.
Yeah.
Because I've been to London and I can understand them, but going to Scotland that one time, I went to a Starbucks and I ordered a drink and she repeated it back to me and I'm just like,
I have no idea what you just said.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what? And she repeated it back and I'm like, yep, sounds good. I'll have that.
And the Scottish cab driver, it was like, I really feel like he's speaking English, but I just don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they're it's so thick. But yeah, you've got to really like, that sounds like this.
It's like it's like a Cajun of the UK.
I don't know how to describe it, but it's crazy.
Sorry. I have a Cajun. I guess I don't know if she's Cajun, but I have a Cajun behind the
You can still
behind
understand. I feel like you can still understand Cajuns, but no, it's definitely their dialect is a lot thicker.
Yeah.
So how did you decide on Scotland? You tuned in there. I love to go to Scotland. Is that just the golf?
The golf bring you there, or
Well,
Scotch?
I love to travel, love to play golf, so that's where they intersect. And like a lot of folks, I have a group of golf buddies that get out 3 or 4 times a year and kind of figure out where you want to go, from Naples to, San Diego to Whistler in Wisconsin, Whistling Straits,
Whistling
rather.
Straits, yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful course, tough, really tough. There's something like 2,000 sand traps on that golf course.
Right, it's a lot of sand and it's a lot of mounds, right? Is that right?
It's really mountainous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're not hitting them straight and short's okay. Everything else doesn't work.
Have you played Coeur d'Alene?
No, I have not.
Is that the Iowa one, or
That's
Yes, between something.
Iowa?
It's outside of Spokane, Washington, or Spokane. I think they pronounce it Spokane.
How do they pronounce it?
Coeur d'Alene? I don't know. She said Coeur
d'Alene.
d'Alene.
the other
Yeah,
one.
I'm not walking into your little trap there. Good luck with that. No, but they have their 18th hole. It's floating in the middle of a lake. And they rotate it around like 3 times a year. And before you start, they'll tell you, okay, the hole's floating right here.
No,
but
it's really floating.
It's floating, like, because we were there and we got our booth set up and was like, let's rent a boat and go on the lake. And then it's like, what is that? And then we found out it's a floating hole.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I love those challenges. There's a little golf course no one has ever heard of in northern Wisconsin in Door County, which is just north of Green Bay. I am a Packer fan, tried and true.
Yes.
I have a cheesehead hat. Should have worn it today, actually.
No kidding. Yeah, I would have worn mine if you would have said something. We could have done it together.
Exactly. And Door County, as it's called, is I call it the Cape Cod of the Midwest. It's a beautiful little community. It's all the boating and kind of recreational resort area stuff, and very folksy. A lot of cabins and a lot of camping and so on. But there they have a little golf course that is actually 3 separate nines, and forgotten the name of it as I'm sitting here. But on the 9th hole of the blue course, so it's red, white, and blue are the indicators. You're up about 300 feet above the green, and if you've ever experienced that kind of a drop, it's really hard to figure out what club to hit to go that far out and that far down. But for me, it's a wedge. I've never hit a wedge off of a tee before. How weird is that? Even in par 3s, that's probably more of a 9-iron shot. But I got up on the tee years and years ago and stupidly took out I think a 5-iron or something, and I hit it past the green, over the road, and into the lake. I mean, that's how crazy it was to be that high up. But it's one of the most picturesque and beautiful places. It's a little public course. I think it's $50 to play all day long. It's amazing.
That's like hitting it that's like hitting it off the roof of this building onto the ground is what that is. And trying to gauge, do I have the right club for that? That's crazy. We have a 22-story. We're in a 22-story building here in Irving. I saw it there. She's like, hey, give everybody a reference.
Yes. How long does it take for light to travel from the sun to
I know.
the moon?
We should do so. Yeah, rapid fire. I bet he would know.
We have to have somebody in the background with Google.
So Traveling got shut down in 2020. Did you pick up any new hobbies, or were you just like going virtually?
We had some, extra time because we weren't traveling, so I decided to build a machine that made blister cards.
Oh, cool.
So we got into that. We're releasing it now, and it's 3 times faster than the standard machines that are out there, and has built-in vision inspection. So, I love working with my hands and building stuff. I've always been a hobbyist, and for years and years when I was a kid, used to build the fastest cars that I could possibly think of how to make, and transitioned a couple years ago from internal combustion to Tesla. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. The experience is absolutely amazing. It's just a pleasure to drive these cars and to how stable and fast.
So you're speeding up Teslas?
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, those are like off the rack, 0 to 61.9 seconds, right? Like something like that. It's something crazy
If you've never done that, the only time you've ever had a human experience of accelerating that fast is where we started a while ago in the amusement parks. It's just, you can't describe it. The acceleration is just uncanny. And it's all the way up to 120, 130 miles an hour.
Gosh. Do you use the autopilot at all?
I do, and I will tell you from firsthand experience, I've been driving Teslas 2.5 years now. I just got a Performance Model 3 a few months ago, which I love. But it's great. It's not perfect. And if you're stupid enough to take your eyes off the road, you may really regret it, because if you get to certain things in the road, I noticed the other day that the curbs, it uses cameras to see where you are and where the other cars are, and it's very advanced. It's awesome technology. But if you have a very tall curb, like an 18-inch high curb, it doesn't know what that is. And I only had just this one experience, very odd road who has curbs that are 18 inches tall. And the car actually picked the wrong lane. And if I hadn't had my hands on the wheels, I was going to be part of that curb.
Interesting.
So it was, it's not perfect. Do not look away. Look away.
I know that has one. I asked that question, and most people are like, I just don't trust it yet. Not for long stints or nothing like that. I'm not going to go on a 200-mile road trip and never touch the wheel.
Yeah, you saw where Uber sold their automatic car division, I think, to Microsoft or somebody. Yeah. And they pretty much said,
they divested it.
Yeah, 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, they were saying, hey, within 5 years, you're going to have self-driving taxis and stuff. And they've sold it and decided, hey, that's probably not going to happen.
Well, that's like, his last car. It had the,
There's a big gap between his Tesla and my Honda Pilot, just FYI.
Very true. But his car, it would follow the line. And so if you're driving on the interstate, it's following the white line on the right, and it's trying to exit you, and you're like, no, I want to stay on the interstate.
Yeah, you'd have to fight my car not to exit.
I hated it.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
I found that as more of a hazard.
It's nice on the freeway. If you're on a long straight freeway,
I stayed in the far left
you want to just relax your neck and shake your hands and move your feet around a little bit, it's nice to put it on and let it drive, because it does that really well. Mm-hmm. But don't get near a ramp. Don't put it on a public street where the street goes into a Y like that, because it doesn't know where you want to go.
It only knows to go straight.
If you hear, it sucks, but a lot of those people that you hear about crashing and dying or people burning up because they left autopilot on the whole time, didn't do anything.
Well, there was one last week with a young kid who turned on autopilot and he got in the back seat and he was waving to everybody.
Yeah, he's trying to be smart. He put his foot on it to simulate it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Which on Tesla had not enabled. They now have turned on a camera in there to see if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Oh.
Right.
Something they hadn't turned on.
Maybe they're looking to catch you sleeping, too.
Mm-hmm. Wake up. On the blister pack you did, is that single dose or multi-dose?
Either. This is single dose, so we'll do multiple cards a minute. I won't give you the exact number. But it will also do multi-dose, any card format, Dispill, Medicine on Time, SureMed, whatever you want. It uses our same technology. In fact, I think I can show it to you here. If I turn it, right there it is. Uses the same cartridge and vision inspection system and pill verification. And it's operator attended. So it's nice to not have to have exceptions trays or post processing or adding pills after the automation.
So it works like the Rapid Pack, but it's doing blister packs.
Exactly. Instead of producing the little pouches that we're so familiar with, it puts the pills into essentially a pouch. You call each one of these a pouch, and you got it.
Is it the same machine, or is it a totally different machine?
Different machine, yeah. I think the duo idea, Jeff, frankly, doesn't make any sense. It's like Swiss Army knife, got a lot of stuff, but not very good at anything.
So what are you calling it?
Calling it the Rapid Card.
Rapid Card? Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Wow. Rapid Card.
I didn't know either.
Marsha, you need to drink.
I know.
Sorry.
Maybe somebody should have drank
red wine.
Nice red fruity wine.
I will be drinking some nice
Give me such a hard time.
I know. He's just asking a question.
Oh, she's like,
goodness. No.
Yeah, it's actually a cool thing. Actually, when did I get that for y'all? I got them.
That was you got that for us for Christmas like 2 years ago.
So I got them a series of bottles of wine that were from the year they got married.
Cool.
That is called Continuum, and a continuum is a change that happens so slowly you don't notice it. Right? You just wake up. It's like seasons. All of a sudden, oh my goodness, it's winter. And the just change happens on time. And so they got 4 bottles, one to drink at each big, at 15, at 20, at 25, and 30. So we're all praying it's good. So
popping one today.
It'll be good.
Well,
so they're popping one today.
And not just the very cool, thoughtful piece of that. The thing that to me is the most remarkable of this is the bottle. It's the vintage year is the year that we got married.
Right. Yeah. It's
a 2000.
Right. The vintage is right. Yeah. So this one this year is 15 years old.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So we're drinking a 15-year-old bottle of wine.
I'm going to see you at NCPA. I'm going to say, Bill, where's your Rapid Card?
Rapid Card machine.
Rapid Card machine.
We'll have it there on display, and we're shipping them here very shortly. And a couple other really cool new things, too.
So we have some secrets besides the Rapid Card. The Rapid Card's out there. We have a couple things coming from there.
We have a big one. It's actually right over here in the corner, but I'm going to have to keep that blanket on that one.
Big secret with a blanket on
If
there.
anything, this podcast is an amazing teaser for you to turn around and use for NCPA.
Apple-esque.
Yeah.
So you went back and tinkered then, it sounds like, what you did during COVID.
That's what he did with COVID.
You went back and tinkered.
Yeah, it is my passion. And I did actually find myself, because when you're doing 20, 22 a year, it's sort of almost every other weekend is a trade show. And so you need to do prep, and then you need to travel, and you need to set up, and
you have some crazy setup.
We're the same kind of animal. We see each other there the day before the show in our blue jeans, and Marsha there in her sweats, putting our booths together, getting all
borrowing each other's tools.
Borrowing each other's tools.
Yep. I do that a couple times.
Yeah.
I can't believe they shook this like this. We're going to fix it.
It's 2 feet too long. Who's got a hacksaw?
Yeah.
We've been there together. And so I found all that extra time. It's just all of a sudden in March, everything got canceled. And at first we thought, well, okay, 6 months, probably by June we'll be back to normal. And actually PDS, who couldn't have their show in February, which is really a shame because we love that show, postponed it till May, and then they just outright canceled it.
Right.
And all the summer shows, of course. But we kept, in 2020, we kept thinking, well, it'll be good by June. We'll be fine. And then fall, for sure. How could it not happen in the fall? It's impossible. And here we are, June of the following year, thinking, gosh, I hope that October show actually happens. It's just unprecedented. So I just came into the office and said, guys, we've got all this, frankly, you have the same experience, Jeff. We had extra budget because we weren't spending the big dollars, and millions of dollars these trade shows cost. And so we just said, look, we're gonna do some fun stuff, take advantage of this, support our customers to the best of our ability, and then those projects that we've had on the board for a while, let's move it up.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what we've done. We've hired, and by the way, we hired new people all the way through COVID. We probably added 10 to 12 really sharp people. Just brought on some really cool new executive team members. We have a fellow that a lot of people probably know. Marcus Kennedy used to be the head engineer at Parada for I guess 19 years or so since the very beginning.
Scandal.
And we're very fortunate enough to have him join us. He's just an amazing guy. I've been on board for about a month, and a couple other really sharp people. So we're trying to, build for the future. We're trying to continue to drive the industry to be a better industry. I always thought, especially when I was at Pyxis, the more that we did to sort of up the game, everyone else would then also have to and want to up the game, and it really is true. So what we've done is kind of, set up a pace, if you will. Here's new stuff, coming up with new stuff every year or two, some really cool, new, keen advancement in the industry. And even when we first started, 13 years ago with the RxSafe, it's a category that didn't exist. Having a machine that took stock bottles and stored the stock bottles securely without having to put them in a cassette or some kind of a cell was not heard of. And we're still alone in that category today. And we do a great job of preventing theft and diversion of narcotics, and one of its great attributes, and perpetual inventory control. So people see something like that, and they think, wow, we better think of something too. We better try to advance the state of the art. And that's why we all get better, because I stand on other people's shoulders. They're going to stand on my shoulders, and they're going to do things better and more less costly than we've done it.
So do you have a workshop at home?
I do.
Yeah. I'm just picturing, sometimes like Mark would always be like, Marsha, don't you have a trade show? Is it about time? I need some me time. Man. I'm just picturing your wife watching TV and you flipping it off with the Hallmark channel for like the Science Channel, and she's like, to the garage with you. Yeah. You've got to go tinker.
Yeah. I solved that problem, a decade ago. I just put a TV in the garage.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. There's the Science Channel and how the universe works, and there's my tools, and working on how do you do pill verification? Yeah,
I'm picturing with welding helmet on.
Right, there's like an Iron Man feel to it, right?
Yeah, it does definitely have an Iron Man feel.
It really does.
I put on the suit and the helmet,
the RxSafe suit, and gets going.
The Roxy suit.
Put on the Rexy suit.
Yeah, the Rexy suit.
There you go. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No. He's not Rexy. Rexy is his. What was
Jarvis?
Jarvis.
He's Rexy's Jarvis.
Rexy's really Jarvis. Is really his Jarvis.
That's it.
Well, Bill, I think we're running out of time. Just wanted to just tell you how much we enjoyed it today, and thank you for spending some time with us. We miss people, so this is kind of our ability to see people, and thank you for all you do for the industry and your support in CPA, and can't wait to see you again and see the 2 new things you've invented. Right?
So much anticipation.
I know. I'm like, oh, don't feel special. I'm calling Bill after this, and I'm calling Bill after and say, what did you make?
And to see the Reppin' card in person.
That's right. Come to NCPA. Absolutely. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for inviting me. I love this part of my job, and getting to talk to people and let them know what's going on, and let them know how much we care about what they do and what they've done to keep our healthcare system at the level that it is, and take it well beyond, as Buzz Lightyear used to say, to infinity and beyond for our independent pharmacy owners.
Nice.
You guys, Marsha and Mark and Jeff, have been a great inspiration to me. Always been a great friend, and so we really appreciate this opportunity to just have a little chat.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. I feel like we should sing.
I know. Right? All right. Get up and hug.
Get up and hug. Thank you, Bill.
Bill, thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank you for watching the Catalyst Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, subscribing, and/or following us. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts to help us reach more amazing pharmacy people like you. Follow PioneerRx on your preferred social media platform for the latest up-to-date pharmacy news and content.